Hi guys, my name is Rachel. This is my first video and it's going to be about how to cover up your rosacea. I tried to make my light so it wouldn't wash me out too much so you could see this, but with the first step I think you will notice the redness in my face. If you don't know what rosacea is, Google it. So first off, I already did my all my skincare, moisturizing, and all that junk, and so I'm going to start off with a primer. Now a lot of people say people with red skin should start with a green primer, like this one, which is the Smashbox color correcting. And I find that this one kind of has a weird texture, like it's almost made out of peas, and I don't feel like it actually changes the color at all. So I use this this Too Faced Primed and Poreless, and I'm just gonna put that on my face first, and just makes it nice and smooth and ready for some makeup. And once I start rubbing this in, you should be able to see some of that redness come out. Or all of it, whatever. Alright, so that's all rubbed in. And so, as I understand, most people put on their foundation next, but I actually put on my concealer next. And I don't use any special brush for this. I'm just gonna, actually I'm gonna use another Too Faced product. Wow, this is pretty much all gonna be Too Faced. This is the Absolutely Flawless Flexible Coverage Concealer, and I love this stuff. I have a couple of other concealers, like one from Dermablend. Oh, and I also have a Dermablend Smooth Indulgence Redness Concealer. And I was thinking about trying this on half of my face, but I don't think that with this lighting you would really notice even if there was a difference. So I'm not really going to do that. I don't think that this works very well for me, and not because it doesn't help with coverage, but because I think it doesn't make my makeup last all day. I feel like it gets more cakey if I use this. It's just there's too much stuff on my skin. Because if I put this on, I feel like I still need, you know, the regular color concealer even after I put the foundation on. So maybe in the summer when your face is super red and you're just going out for a little while. So I'm just going to take this and put a few dabs in my problem areas, which is basically my whole face. And you don't want to put too much. This stuff is really thick, and that amount probably could cover my whole face. I'm not going to put this on my nose though, because the only thing I've found that doesn't make my nose look weird throughout the day is actually this Dermablend Smooth Indulgence Foundation. I don't like this for all over the face. I feel like it gets really cakey, but for some reason it works on my nose. So I'm just going to take a really tiny bit of that. That was probably a little too much. Alright, and you might want to use a brush for this, but I've washed my hands, and you get better coverage actually if you use your fingers. So I'm just going to dab that all around until it's about blended in. And I wish I knew how to edit videos, because I would make this go a lot faster and not talk. Awkward silence. Oh no. You don't want to do too much of that pulling motion, because that's going to make your coverage lighter. And I definitely don't want that because of a step that I do later. Oh, that's new. And I don't really put a whole lot on my forehead because I don't have a lot of redness there. You want to make sure you get like all up on your nose and in the little creases there so you don't look weird. Sometimes I'll go back and smudge it out a little bit because I have a little bit of redness on the side of my face too. But my cheeks and my chin are the main places where redness generally shows through during the day, because I work in a very fast-paced, sweaty environment, and my makeup kind of melts off my face and it doesn't look good at all. Okay, so next I'm going to use a foundation. And I've tried a whole bunch. I have a lot here. I really do like this Makeup Forever HD High Definition Foundation. I like this one a lot. It gives a really good finish, but I don't feel like it lasts as long as the one that I'm going to use, which is the Too Faced Amazing Face Oil-Free Close-Up Coverage Foundation. And no matter what I try, I always end up going back to this. I'm a sucker for packaging, and I really, really love these pumps. I really like that. It's very appealing. And this one doesn't have that. It's kind of messy, but the bottle is still pretty, so I can deal. So if I had a pump, I would put some of this on the back of my hand, but I would get this everywhere if I tried to do that. So I'm just going to put some on my finger and then put little dabs on my face. And I'm making sure not to put too much because that could get messy. Messy and cakey. And you can build this up if you need to, but I generally don't. I don't need to. And I never, well actually I never have built this one up, so I don't know if it would get cakey if you did. So a lot of times I use a foundation brush that looks very strange, different colors. So I'm just going to blend this in. I didn't start with a foundation brush, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger. Generally gives you better coverage anyway. I'm going to try not to have too much product right under my eye. And I guess you could do that same dabbing motion. That sounds like it would take forever. But it doesn't really matter the way I do it anyway, if it's not completely blended in. Just so you guys know, I'm no makeup guru. I'm just a girl with rosacea that's sharing my foundation routine. Okay, and generally I do have a fan blowing on me, but I thought that would be too loud. It is on low. I do that to help the foundation and whatever products I apply dry a little bit more quickly. But for the sake of not having a 20-minute long video, I am going to use my Too Faced powder poof brush. It's teddy bear hair, super soft. You don't want to use something abrasive because it's gonna like exfoliate and get your dry skin to get all scaly and gross. So I use this and just buff all of that foundation into my skin so that it doesn't, you know, look like I just put a load of foundation product and stuff on there. And this is very good to do in the daylight so that you can tell, especially if you're doing powder or if you're gonna do like another layer of this. You would definitely want to do this in natural light. Okay. So next, to set this, I am going to use my Smashbox Hydrating Perfecting Powder, Halo Hydrating Perfecting Powder. I have two different colors. One is fair, one is light. I love this stuff. It's absolutely amazing. It just feels wonderful. And I'm going to use the darker color, and I'm just going to use this Kabuki fan, which is also wonderful. It's super soft. And I'm going to get a little bit of the darker color that I have. Just get rid of some of that product. And just pat it around my face just a little bit. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my lighter color and pat that on the inner part of my face. And then I'm just going to take this and sweep away all the excess. Now, since I have dry skin, a lot of people say that I shouldn't be wearing powder, but when I look at this makeup or any foundation that I wear, without the powder, there's just, it doesn't look natural at all, and with the powder, it does. So, I use the powder. Alright, and that's basically it for that. Don't ask me about, you know, blush and bronzer, because I use them, but I don't know how to, so I'm not gonna, you know, taint you guys with misinformation about how to do those kinds of things. So, I hope for anyone that has rosacea that this has given you some ideas, hopefully helped you. If you have any tips for me, then that'd be great. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye!